Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris and this is my Lord of the Rings hobby. Now in today's video we are going to be learning something new. As always, trying to expand our horizon on this lovely hobby, and it is the Slapchop technique. The reason for us doing this is me personally. I have struggled to do any hobby in the last couple of weeks, feeling really tired from work and personal stuff, and I wanted to bring something or try something different. I thought, well, why not record it and do it as a video and go through my struggles and what I've learned and maybe what I need to learn. If there's any pointers, please put them in the description in the comment section. Talk to me, let me know what I may have done wrong or what I need to do. So as you can see, I've added a grey sit over a black background here, and then we're using this as quite a heavy dry brush to pick up all the details and so forth. I will say the artificial, I think it's the artificial ones, I'm using the white ones as dry brushes just aren't good. I'm actually losing the love for these brushes. At first I thought they were great, but I don't know if it's me or what's going on, but they seem to have got a bit poop. So I think I might need to change my dry brushes and see what else is out there. So we are going to follow the technique of, I think it's The Honest Wargamer. He brought up a video a couple of probably a year ago now. Really detailed, really good video. So if you do want a tutorial, please go and watch that. That will teach you so much more about what we're doing. But basically what it is you do a black or a very dark grey base coat, and then you dry brush a lighter grey and then dry brush a white over your model. And then as you're using contrast paints, which I will use in a second, you will see how everything changes and how the colours and everything highlights a lot easier. So you actually don't have to go back to highlight unless you want to, but it's a new technique like I said. So I've just literally put a white scar dry brush again. I've paid a lot of attention to the face, and the reason for that is because I know that that's going to be a very light colour for later on for when we do the faces. So what I'm going to do is concentrate on the fur, and I'm going to use snakebite leather, and I'm going to do this all over the fur. I'm going to try and avoid his feet and his face and around his ears, because we're going to use a different colour again closer to the time. Now contrast paints are easy to use, hard to master. I would say it's kind of like any hobby and any sort of painting style, because you have to get the right mixture. There is thinners, I believe. I've not looked into anything like that yet, mainly because I'm doing everything on a budget. This is my hobby and this is what I spend a little bit of my money on. So I added snakebite leather, and then I'm going to use, I think it's Sogo brown, and as you can see I put it so heavy on the bum area on the top of his back for no reason at all. I was meant to wet blend this, and I put it so heavy on that, as you'll see as it dries throughout the video, it does go wrong. It dries, it basically looks like a flat, there's nothing there, and it gets rid of quite a bit of texture. I work out later on how I've done it and what I've done wrong, and I try and slowly bring it back through a bit of technique of dry brushing. But again, this is a learning curve. I will also say with this model, what I'm using as my test, it is so old. The groove lines are, I don't even know what you call it, but it has no details. The detailed lines, what should be there, are just non-existent. There's a lot of flatness on this model, and I'm trying to get the best way out of it and move stuff around and trying to make my own edges or borders of where fabric would go. But sadly, I don't love it, if I'm honest with you, and I think that's where this model this is the bit what annoys me the most about the model. I was really hoping to look forward to Slapchop and then see all this. I have done it on a other model, which I was really happy with. I did it on a Riders of Rohan Warrior, sorry, and that looked really cool. Okay, so the next one is Wildwood, and we're going to use that on various different materials. Like I said, don't use this as your painting guide. Mess around with colours. This is just me trying out different ones. Basically, I bought them today to try out on this video. Well, to try out in the future, but I wanted to try and get a video done with it to see what the difference is and how they all blend together. I will also say that messing around with colours is really good, especially this range. I don't believe the paint you see on the card and also on at the bottom of the pot is anywhere close to where it should be. I've learnt that way on the colour I use for the skin in a minute, which is the orc flesh. It is so green, it's basically near enough a luminous green. It was not luminous, maybe that's a bit dramatic, but it's a lot greener than I thought it was. But I wanted to try it, see what happened. I personally probably wouldn't use it for that again. I'd probably change it to something different. But it looked, like I said, it looks okay. It just didn't look great. I think it's too green for a Mordor orc or an Isengard orc. I think I need to slowly change that. Again, I've changed to another brown here, and I'm looking at levers, anything, the straps, any small little details I'm going to pick up, maybe the shoes too. There is, like I said, I think it's just this model has kind of frazzled me a lot, so I'm not going to keep going on about that. It is what it is. We're learning. If I have to go and buy some new ones, I'll buy some new ones to see the difference. The other thing I did learn about this technique is how easy it is to get the highlights very quick, if that makes sense. The dry brushing, what takes you 4 or 5 seconds, maybe a bit more, you know what I mean, as in generally quick, the details you see later on, just it makes it so much better. Adding the detail, just adding like that paint, that one coat of the contrast, just makes things just stand out that little bit more. Once I was done with all the contrast paints, then it was just time to do the usual base layering paint. So then I went on to the boring stuff like the metallics, using a lead belcher, and I just applied that on the sword. And then I also used a Ushanti bone, no, flayed witch, I can't remember now, hang on, let me have a quick look, I've got it next to me. Flayed one flesh, I believe it was. I used that on the teeth of the warg, and that looks really good. And then all I did was eventually put a wash over it. I will say also, using contrast paints means that you don't have to use a wash. I'm not like I said, the only thing what's kind of annoying me is the skin colour is very green for what it should be, but again, that's just another learning curve for later on. If you do want to tie all these colours in at a later date or later on after you finish painting it, a really good technique is a dry brush of a very light, like a carrick stone, a very pale creamy colour, and if you do that across the model, it will tie in all the other colours quite nice, which I've noticed, especially on the warg, should I say, not on the model itself but on the warg. I was really happy with how it looked. So there we have it, guys. I'll add a quick photo after it's all done. If you do like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.